The primary battles between anti-Trump GOP candidates and the president unfold dramatically again last night. J.D. Vance takes to the White House podium and puts on a show. And Democrats are flat out of ideas for election season. It's Wednesday, May 20th, and this is news and commentary from America's Heartland. Glad you're with us. You're watching Heartlander News. Hello and welcome into this edition of Heartlander News. My name is Chris Stigall. You know, a lot of last night's news focuses on primary fights inside the GOP, and we will here in a minute. But something to keep a sharper eye on, in my opinion, is what's happening in the Los Angeles mayor's race right now, as well as the California gubernatorial race at large. While the GOP may be battling for its identity, and I think that's a healthy thing, the Democrats, they've completely lost their ability to connect or sell anything to voters except rage and vengeance. Nowhere is this more apparent than at the big American Center for American Progress confab, or whatever it's called. Hakeem Jeffries, one of the featured speakers there. Take a listen to what he's selling.
I guess part of how we as House Democrats view this moment, either MAGA extremists are going to break the country or we're going to break them. And our goal is to break them. We will defeat them. We have to beat them electorally, and then we have to break their spirit because of the extremism that's being unleashed on the American people. That's completely and totally unacceptable.
So if you're following that, the minority leader of the United States House of Representatives says that their goal is to break the spirits of 77 million people who voted for Donald Trump and the Trump agenda. Interesting strategy there. Meanwhile, out in Los Angeles, as we were mentioning a minute ago, what has Karen Bass, one of the big party bosses and current sitting LA mayor, have to sell? Nothing but destruction. And her chief opponent, a man named Spencer Pratt, is taking Karen Bass on, and Pratt is reminding voters just what she and Democrats have wrought on their city.
I'm Karen Bass, and I'm running on my accomplishments.
Los Angeles on fire, mayor nowhere to be found.
We were so prepared for wildfires. I didn't even have to be in the country when the town burned.
I've addressed the homeless problem. Now, most of them won't stab you as long as you don't make eye contact. Our climate change policy is so strong, we've brought down energy use in the Palisades by 99%. Almost none of the needles in children's playgrounds have AIDS on them. If you like the last 4 years, you're going to love the next 4. Vote Bass.
Boy, I got to tell you, that AI is starting to get really good, which, of course, that ad was made courtesy of AI. That wasn't actually Karen Bass. For the less sophisticated viewer, you may not know that, and you'd be forgiven if you didn't, because AI is getting pretty good. In fact, it's getting good enough that Democrats, and this is a story from Axios today, while you took a look at that, I just thought it interesting to throw in here. House Democrats plan to push legislation regulating the use of AI in political ads if they retake power next year. One satirical ad in Kentucky's 4th District accused Thomas Massie of being in a throuple with Alexandria, Ocasio-Cortez, and Ilhan Omar. So Democrats are uniquely threatened and upset at the creativity being deployed by Republicans and allies of the president's, and they want to outlaw ads like that. But Pratt is also having fun, not just using AI, he's also using pop culture as a big campaign weapon.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I had to take a minute to run for mayor. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air. In West Los Angeles, Palisades, my backyard is where I spent most of my days. Feeding hummingbirds, relaxing all cool, avoiding all the bums outside of the school. When a couple politicians, the world to no good, started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got at one little fire, my mom got scared and said, "You're moving in with Harvey Levin in Bel Air." I pulled out from my lot of about 7 or 8, and I yelled to the rubble, yo ho, smell you later. I moved to my kingdom, I was finally there to sit on my throne as a Prince of Bel-Air.
Pretty clever stuff. Spencer Pratt catching fire, at least online. Could that be the key to victory in the mayor's race? We'll see. Meanwhile, current polling shows that Steve Hilton is leading in the race right now as one of the top 2 in California, next to the former Biden official, Javier Becerra, who it's unbelievable that Californians are even entertaining Becerra, but nevertheless, Steve Hilton, a Fox News personality formerly, is really gaining a lot of traction out there, and you could see a Republican in a runoff, a legit Republican for the first time in a long time in California. Listen, whether it's California or Los Angeles, this really is a time for Californians where they stand at a fork in the road. As Yogi Berra famously said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. And right now, Los Angeles has lived through 2 completely different catastrophes that expose the exact same leadership failure. First, look at COVID. Residents were ordered to shut down their businesses, close their churches, mask their kids, and just trust the experts. People like Dr. Fauci and the rest contradicted themselves over and over on masks, lockdowns, school closures, and where the virus even came from to begin with. Democrats issued sweeping mandates with absolute certainty. Then quietly, they changed the rules whenever reality caught up with them. The damage was incalculable. A whole generation of kids lost years of learning. Small businesses were wiped out. Mental health problems and addiction exploded. Inflation spiked, and trust in our institutions utterly collapsed. Los Angeles has become the poster child for elite overreach and social and societal decay. And then there was the disastrous Palisades fires, as Spencer Pratt's parody ad refers to. Officials once again stood up and insisted everything was under control, but it wasn't. Chaotic evacuations, slow responses, failing infrastructure, and fires that were allowed to burn for reasons that were widely reported. Whole neighborhoods in one of the wealthiest parts of America were reduced to ash. Families lost everything. And now, well over a year later, there's been almost no rebuilding. Permits are still stuck in bureaucratic limbo. Private property rights have been ignored or steamrolled. And it's left homeowners unable to take back and rebuild what was theirs. That's the heavy-handed communist streak that's showing through in Southern California. Government treating people's homes like assets it can control or stall forever. And look, these weren't random failures. They were stress tests. A virus and an inferno. They don't have much in common, except the governing philosophy that botched both of them. Narrative control came first. Competence, that was a mere afterthought. Spin became more important than the truth. Blame shifting became the norm over accountability. Image mattered more than results. And this is where the La La Land disconnect hits hardest. Hollywood makes its living selling fantasies, and for years now, Los Angeles has been living in a fantasy, a dystopian political fairy tale where ideology and optics always win no matter what reality is actually screaming. The same city that churns out make-believe on screen has been governed by make-believe at City Hall, pretending the systems are working. While schools are crumbling and homelessness explodes, businesses are fleeing, trust totally evaporates, and entire neighborhoods are still sitting in ruin. A healthy government does just the opposite of these things. It tells the truth early. It prepares seriously. It acts decisively. And it respects private property rights, most of all. Los Angeles has been running the opposite model for entirely too long. The city that once symbolized American ambition and hustle, it's now defined by the widening gap between the Hollywood script and the smoking reality on the ground. This spiral didn't happen by accident. It's exactly what you get when you let fictional political storytelling replace actual governance for years on end. But Los Angeles finally has a chance, and California, by the way, at large, has a chance to break the cycle. Kick Mayor Bass out of office, kick the likes of Gavin Newsom's governance out of office, and choose a genuinely different direction with people like Spencer Pratt or Steve Hilton. After two major failures that proved the same broken approach and years of massive corruption, the city of Los Angeles deserves leaders who put competence, truth, and private property rights first. No more dystopian narrative management, thank you very much. The fork in the road. The fork is right here. And as Yogi said, for you Californians, it's time you take it.